My name is Rusty Havens. I run SWLA Abolitionists, and we're a local anti-human trafficking organization. I started asking questions. I started digging into it, and I found out that human trafficking happened a lot actually in Lake Charles and in Southwest Louisiana.
What is it that defines a city? Is it its culture or its sports? Maybe its beauty or growth? And where do these definitions even come from? Or who is put into authority to come up with the idea on which a city is defined by? Is a city simply defined by the things that are good and things that are great, or the things that are seen in the light? But what about the things that are bad? The things that aren't so visible? What happens in your city when the lights go out?
Human trafficking can happen to anyone, but it's usually the most vulnerable of our population. You know, it's runaways, it's the homeless, it's the poor, it's people who society in general tends to ignore. With everything going virtual, if it's popular with children, it's popular with predators. So if children are going more virtual, predators are going more virtual. I don't need a white van to come steal your child. All I have to do is create a fake Facebook profile, a fake Instagram profile, and become a 13-year-old girl just like that.
I am at 19 years old. I had left an abusive relationship. I was at the women's shelter when it was on Legion Street at the old fire department, and I needed a job, and there was a waitress job in the newspaper. And I went to it. It was on Broad Street. It was a bar, and it was the only job I could find at the time. I took the job, and for 2 weeks I noticed there was something going on around me. At this time, I was raised by a sheriff's deputy and a strong mother, but I knew for some reason there was something strange going on around me. Something within me knew to be careful. There was one evening, a city cop walked in. He was on duty, his unit was outside, and him and my boss talked, and the next thing I know, my boss come up to me and said he wants the new girl. In other words, he's gonna give me $250. You're gonna walk in the bathroom, you're gonna take care of business. You'll get half, I'll make sure you're okay, and that'll be it.
The traffickers study these girls, or these women, and they see what they need, or they see what they want. If it's love and affection, they provide that. If it's money, if it's dreams of fame and fortune, they sell those lies to the women. In general, globally, over 70% are women and girls. It does happen to men too. I just want to point that out because even in Southwest Louisiana, we have come across men survivors.
Scared to death, I did it. And that introduced me to the life of prostitution with my boss as my pimp. He would always take half of what I made. He would set up the dates for me of customers that would come in. I was very vulnerable at the moment, ashamed of what I had just done, scared, very open to whatever. I should have said no, and it introduced me to crack. So for 25 years, my life was crack and prostitution.
We've actually had a story where a mother contacted us and said, I checked my daughter's phone, and I found out that my daughter was talking to a guy who pretended to be a 13-year-old boy, but he was actually a 40-year-old man from California who had bought my daughter a bus ticket for that very next week. She's like, if I didn't see your TV interview, if I didn't intervene, something would have happened. She would have been gone. And that's why it's so important, I feel, to get a message out, to get the message out. because we can stop this. We just have to be educated on how to.